The third industrial revolution marked a radical shift in the evolution of tools such as electronics, telecommunications, and computers, which enabled the rapid improvement of machines and other tools that make work easier. This paved way for the fourth industrial revolution, whose main feature has been the internet, which has enabled people across the world to communicate faster and more easily, more than they had ever imagined. Communication is now much faster than before, and to transfer 5 megabits of data, you don't need the $10,000 hard drive by IBM that was the size of a fridge in 1956. You can just send it on WhatsApp. With all the innovations we are seeing today, some say we are on the fifth industrial revolution, where technological innovations will change how we work and help meet the deficit of employment opportunities, especially for young people in Kenya. And there is a real need. According to 2020 Kenya National Bureau of Statistics census data, more than 5 million young people, or 38.9% of the more than 13 million young Kenyans, are jobless, further widening the gap between the rich and the poor.
Ajira program is aimed at training our young people to be able to get access to digital work. And in this instance, we want to encourage people like yourselves who are trainers of trainers to use that platform to be able to work with, for example, our Ajira trainers, for you to be able to acquire those skills and to be able to pass on those skills to the other young men and women.
In a bid to address the unemployment issue in the country, Kenya has embarked on its digital transformation journey to tap into the immense opportunities in the digital economy. To prepare the youth for this space, the government launched the Ajira digital program to train, mentor, and ensure young people were equipped for the gig economy.
Ajira digital allows them to supplement their work, to supplement activities. If they are doing research, if they're involved in education, they can still be able to have that and still have some basic income that allows them to make ends meet. We've got over 300 people being trained on the Cisco Academy skills, and actually we've done so far over 424 or so, and of those, the 50 are getting even scholarships.
So our trainings are designed to be 2-day to 1-week trainings, where a young person is able to go through: how do I create an online work account? What is this online work and gig economy? What are the local and international platforms that I can benefit from? How do I create a profile? How do I bid? And most importantly, how do I grow my rating to a degree where I can earn a dignified income? We
now have over 353 centers that we've set up across. These are a combination of what we used to call CIHs, Constituency Innovation Hubs, and then the Youth Empowerment Centers. We've combined them to, Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers, which means we have at least one in every constituency. So young people can go there and be able to start working, to be trained, to get involved with the different activities that are going on within that hub.
We're coming in to really operationalize and hopefully scale the impact of Ajira.
The government and private sector have been playing a key role in driving the gig economy through digitization of services and adoption of digital services.
Through the Ajira digital program, our purpose is to introduce at least 10,000 Kenyan youth to online work.
Errands Guy, which is a platform that runs errands for individuals and businesses, has continued to serve as a job linkage platform for Ajira trainees.
We needed to build our business around technology. Technology being an enabler for us to reach more people. And that is how our story has been taking shape. We believe that we could be able to even absorb, even by December, 500.
Elimu TV, which enables education through the media, has also been serving as a digital employer for both teachers and Ajira trainees, who are more instrumental during their online campaigns, which seek to raise awareness on availability of educational content in the digital space.
Our Twitter campaigns, the last one we did, we are actually number 3 in the country, and we used about 180 youth to be able to push that campaign. The one that we just finished last week, we used 53 youth, And again, we were able to reach over 73,000 people. And those young people have been quite active, quite aggressive, and progressively they are getting engaged, even not only by us, but even by other agencies.
So the businesses need to start looking at these models, creating the efficiency, creating work where they can actually package and it will be done very quickly.
When I joined Ajira in 2017, I was a student still, and I wanted to gain extra skills to make money online. And I already had an idea about doing academic papers. So I started doing academic papers. I started doing content writing. And then I didn't know about transcription then, which of course, when I went for the training, I got to learn about transcription. And I managed to help myself to make some cash.
One of the skills that I learned was the soft skills, which are really important, especially while negotiating, talking to clients, relating to people.
With the faster internet and improved connectivity that has made the digital economy a reality, teachers can now reach their students anywhere across the country, which became one of the most practical ways for learning to continue during the pandemic. Elimu TV is one of the online platforms giving students an opportunity to learn from the comfort of their homes.
I teach from my house in Nyeri, and I teach students all over Kenya. You see, I just Googled how to use the Zoom app, haraka, and the following day, the job was started.
In case they were not able to get something during the class, we have a WhatsApp group where they send the question, then we do it there.
The judiciary has also joined this journey and has made significant steps towards digitizing its services by training legal transcribers to type the proceedings of the cases.
We have put in place systems to have a virtual court. A virtual court is where we can hear the case from here and a witness is in Washington. He testifies when he is in Washington.
The digital economy is growing faster than overall economies, especially in the developing countries. According to the World Bank, ICT accounts for 17% of GDP growth in developing countries. Wowzy, a platform that allows advertisers to load a brief, then select influencers that they would like to engage with. The platform has also continued to provide opportunities for Ajira trainees to practice their craft.
Digital is where young people thrive because unlike the generations ahead of them, they are the experts.
I'm a believer that you learn every day, every experience, because now that transition is what is important. That even as they are trained, also the market comes to terms with the aspects of the gig economy.
And for online professional workers, there is already the Online Professional Workers Association of Kenya, which aims to build their professions and speak in one voice.
We currently have about 500 members within the organization. Kenya does have one of the best transcribers, not only in Africa, but in the world.
Kari Kambulu is the co-founder of Atabantu, whose one of the flagship products is range.co.ke, a digital e-commerce platform that equips young people on the necessary tools to thrive on the e-commerce space.
These skills that I have, what is my strength? What is the thing that I am good at? Whether or not you're, becoming self-employed or you're getting a job, you still have to know what you're good at. And then ask yourself the most important question: who will pay for it?
Online work is skilled work, and online work is work, and it pays.
Thank you all, supporters of the Ajira digital program. Without you, we would not have been able to succeed to the level that we have. We still have a way to go, but I would like to thank especially the MasterCard Foundation for the support that you've already given to us, and the trainings that have now started across the country are very visible. Young people are being able to log in, be able to get the training that they need, and actually have started earning. They're doing this across the country. So thank you very much for the support, and we look forward to continuing to work together with you.
Exactly what is Ajira? I am sure you've been hearing about Ajira, and last year we did suggest something about Ajira in one of our programs, but today we want to bring somebody who can actually help us understand what it's all about. And I'm going to give her an opportunity to actually introduce herself. Karibu.
Good greetings. My name is Maureen Mbaka. I'm sitting as the Chief Administrative Secretary at the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs.
Thank you so much, Maureen, for even agreeing to grace Take on Tech to tell us more about Ajira. Now, I'm sure you have watched the documentary on Ajira, but for somebody who is just joining the program right now, please explain to that person or to the youth in the village what Ajira is all about.
The Ajira digital program is actually a government initiative that is driven by the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs, that seeks to empower and enable young people to make a living from earning online, from online job opportunities.
So, just how does that happen, that earning component or even the job component, how does it happen? Please break it down in a way that we can get more to engage with it.
Well, really, the program seeks to do so. It seeks to enable young people by providing the tools that they require to access these online opportunities, and also by providing training and mentorship opportunities so that the young people can learn more about, how do I access these opportunities, which skills do I need, and give them an opportunity to obtain these skills.
Okay, I like the idea about the mentorship and the skills acquirement. Now, what is the criteria of joining Ajira? And when you also talk about the youth, what age or what sort of youth are you talking about?
When we talk about a criteria, I wouldn't say there's a criteria. All one has to do is log in onto our website. The platform is ajiradigital.go.ke, and you're able to register yourself. If you put in your ID, your details, you register yourself as an Ajira digital member, and then you are able to now access our resources such as online trainings, the self-learning resources, and to learn more about the Ajira digital and the job platforms. When it comes to young people, well, constitutionally, the definition of young people is those below the age of 35. So we really, the program is really aimed at young people, given the issue of and the high rate of unemployment amongst the young people. So this is a government initiative targeted towards them, so as to, one of the initiatives the government has in place to combat this high rate of youth unemployment.
Okay, so you indicate that you can actually just go online on ajiradigital.go.ke and then register yourself. Is there, for example, are the youth from Mashinani or from the counties able to register, considering, there may be connectivity challenges out there?
Mm-hmm. Well, really, Ajira is targeted to youth all across the country. It includes all youth. And I think that's the beauty of technology. You can access these resources from anywhere you are. So we do, for instance, for the trainings, we provide them online through Zoom. So once you're on the Ajira digital platform as an Ajira member, you're able to book an online class, and they are provided through Zoom. And this is a 2-day training to impart skills on you, so that you can be able to take advantage of the gig economy. Other than the online training, we do have where we provide the digital devices and connectivity. These are the Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers that are established across the country in different constituencies. We do have over 150 established youth empowerment centers currently, and devices and connectivity, so that they can be able to access these opportunities. Of course, currently with the COVID pandemic, we did have to, reduce the intake at the Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers, and we're currently coming up with guidelines so that the public can, safely access the digital devices and the free internet to be able to access the online opportunities.
Okay, quite interesting about the, about the online. You've talked about the online training that is available. And I would like you to elaborate on that. What sort of training is offered, and just speak to the content of the curriculum.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Well, really, the content that is provided when it comes to training is around the gig economy. The gig economy that is an embodiment of the future of work and the changing nature of work, where the employers out there, break down their work service needs and place them online on job platforms so that the online workers can access them. So the content is actually built around these areas, which areas can young people provide their services. So it touches on such areas as data entry, transcription work, translation work, virtual assistants, digital marketing. These are the areas where employers are seeking services online.
Okay, now tell us something about what the expectations after the training. Now, after completion of the Ajira training, which is online, where can the beneficiaries work?
Yes, well, we did take this into consideration. Other than the training, there's also the mentorship component, where after going through the 2-day virtual training, there's also a 30-day, virtual mentorship provided to the learners. So this is where a mentor holds your hand and actually is able to take you through, how now, okay, now I have the skills, what is the next step? So they actually help you in, setting up your account, directing you to the proper job platforms where you can now provide your service, prepare your profile and start bidding for work so that you can start earning online. So it's the mentorship aspect that comes in after the training to actually now assist you to get into the world of actually working and earning online.
Okay, earlier on you talked about, the training that they offer, data entry, transcription, as some of the courses that they undertake. Now, and considering that the program has been going on now for, is it 2 years? What would you say has been the impact of Ajira on online work?
Well, actually, the program was launched in 2016, and it has been growing since then. So when we look at the impact that it has had on online work, we do actually carry out surveys, to see, what is our impact on the job ecosystem. So actually, there has been an improvement because according to our survey in 2019, there were around 600,000 young people working online, and around 2 million were aware of online work and the Ajira program. And when we carried out the survey in 2020, we found that there were more people working online, around 650,000, and around 5 million were aware of the online work. So other than creating awareness amongst workers, to get them to work online, we have also had an impact when it comes to the private sector and creating awareness in that area. So we have more businesses creating these job linkages or becoming job linkage partners. This is such as Brighter Monday, creating these platforms where now young people can go and provide their services to employers who are seeking online workers.
Okay, you just talked about the private sector, and I'm wondering whether you have any sort of partnerships in terms of this Ajira program with the private sector?
Yes,
Are there any sort
actually,
of partnerships? Yes.
Yes, when it comes to the Ajira program, we actually have various partners without whom actually we've actually walked the journey with them since we conceptualized the program. And we wouldn't have been where we are today without our partners. We are very grateful for our partners. So we have partners both in the public and the private sector. So in the public sector, we do have, we have various government ministries and departments and agencies. We also work, with the counties and the constituencies. When it comes to the private sector, we have our partners. When it comes to, we have donors. We have the donors who have assisted the program in upskilling, and scaling up the program across the country. So we do have the MasterCard Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation. Other than when it comes to the training and mentorship aspect of the program, so we do have such partners as the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, as well as e-mobilists. They do assist when it comes to providing, skilled trainers to impart the skills upon the young people.
Okay, I'll take you back to something you said, that even the youth from Mashinani can join the training via Zoom. And I'm wondering, this program is to help combat unemployment amongst the youth. And the youth may not have the funds to, say, pay for that online training. Tell me, has there been some thinking through around how maybe the youth can be provided with a zero-rated link to be able to participate on Ajira, on the Ajira training?
Okay, well, thank you for that. When it comes to, reaching more people, that we are always trying to tailor the program. It's always evolving until we keep on tailoring it to the needs and to enable us to reach more young people. And this was actually the thinking behind the Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers, because with those centers, we would provide, free internet and free devices for the young people to reach, to be able to access both our trainings and to be able to work online. So that was actually the thinking behind the youth empowerment centers, and to take it to the ground. Our aim is to have one Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers, at least one youth empowerment center in every ward. So that was the thinking behind that, and then when the pandemic came about, we had to quickly, adapt and, take our trainings online so that people can continue upskilling. So at this time, we do have our trainings online, but we're of course looking to open up our Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers safely, because these are places where even without any monetary, implication on young people, they can come and, access these devices and free internet so that they can be able to, now earn online and, in a sustainable way, making enough money, and maybe even set up their own, centers, away from the youth empowerment centers so that more youth can be able to access these opportunities.
Okay, still a follow-up on that question. Tell us more about those youth empowerment centers. Say, for example, somebody in Turkana, where can they find one?
Okay, well, formally, these youth empowerment centers, they were known as constituency innovation hubs. So these were set up under the Ministry of ICT. And then we onboarded the Youth State Department. So now it's the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs. So the youth empowerment centers came with the Youth State Department. So we combined these to have Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers. And they are established in various places across the country. And on our website, the ajiradigital.go.ke, you can actually, under our resources tab, you can get a list of all established Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers, and you'll be able to see which one is closest to you and be able to access this resource.
Okay, if you've just joined us, we are talking to Maureen Mbaka. Maureen is the Chief Administrative Secretary at the Ministry of ICT, in charge of youth. And she's talking to us today about the Ajira digital program that targets youth unemployment and aims to build digital skills of our youth in the country, including those in mashinani. Now, back to you, Maureen. Now, in the documentary that we watched, there's a lot of talk about the gig economy. And earlier on in this conversation, you still kept referring to the gig economy. Could you please elaborate, tell us more about it and how the Kenya government is involved?
Okay, thank you for that. Well, when it comes to the gig economy, I believe it's the embodiment of what is currently occurring when it comes to the work environment today. There's a changing work environment due to technology. Just as technology has impacted, various areas of our lives, even more so during this period, we can see it has affected the way we work, the way we trade, the way we access services, So it's also quickly impacting work. I mean, we have people working from home, as you can see right now, you're working from home. So really, the gig economy is one of the ways that shows that the nature of work is changing. So we have employers looking to, maybe have less permanent employees and, breaking down their work needs into smaller, sections, placing these sections online on job platforms. And then we have independent online workers accessing these platforms, connecting with these employers, providing these services for a short period of time. So, that's where the word gig comes from. Gig means, a short, job opportunity or a short job that you provide and then leave. So really that's where the word gig economy comes from. So it's a new way of working that is really taking over or shaping the changing nature of work.
Okay.
Sorry, when it comes to the government,
Yes.
is now definitely Ajira program, which is coming in as a government initiative to prepare young people, to take advantage of the opportunities that are in the gig economy.
Okay. Now, still on the documentary, which I found this statement very powerful, and I would like you to elaborate on it. Someone was quoted as saying, online work is skilled work. Please elaborate, because I believe it's something that they've learned in the course of the training in the Ajira program.
All right. I think when they say online work is skilled work, it comes in, when it comes to, again, embodiment of the future of work and, that you require certain skills to provide the services online. And this comes back to our training, which seeks to empower or to impart these skills, these various skills to young people. And one of the characteristics of the future of work and the changing nature of work is that the employee or the online workers need to be able to upskill or to continuously learn various skills so as to provide, or so as to fit the profiles for different employers. So it's when it comes to skilled work, it's picking up these skills to be able to provide these tailored services to various employers. So I think that's where the phrase online work is skilled work comes in.
Okay, before we go into the next question, which is really a policy question, and I know that, I guess speaks to your heart. When we talk about the Ajira training, you did mention that one of the areas that they are trained, is transcription, is data entry. And in the documentary, one of the young people who has benefited from the Ajira program talked about writing papers or doing research for other people. And I remember, I think 2 years ago or something like that, there was talk that Kenya is actually producing the bulk of the writers for students in the UK and in Dubai. And I know for people in academia, there was debate on how ethical that is. What's your comment?
Well, really, yes, that's an area that we did, encounter with the online workers, that's an area that they were venturing into. But of course, that's why the Ajira program comes in with these various areas when it comes to the content that we provide skills on, that we train on, so that we can have more young people providing, services in these areas, moving away from, such areas that raise questions, such as that academic writing. So we encourage young people to gain skills in these areas where, they can provide proper services, to companies, other than, going into academic writing, which is not really an area that is very sustainable or, very upright. So that's why our training is geared towards the sectors or areas of the gig economy that the young people can properly provide their services in.
Okay, and now to the question of policy. What sort of policies have been put in place in order to promote online work, especially for our youth, and especially for those in the, for those in mashinani? And at the same time, we know that our youth have been exploited. For example, when it comes to innovation in this country. So we've had so many youth innovating and their work not being recognized, or people coming with that and taking over that. So in terms of Ajira work, what sort of policies have been put in place to protect them from exploitation? So they're like two questions in one.
Yes, it's okay. I think when it comes to policy frameworks and legislative frameworks, of course, the government aims to create that safe space for, any digital, interactions or digital, any digital interactions or working online, be it working online, trading online, providing services online. So we do have, the Data Protection Act, which, protects the persons who provide their data online. It places obligations on those who hold people's data, protects the right to privacy in accordance with the Constitution. So we do have that the Data Protection Act in place, which is very key in protecting, one's data and privacy online. We do also have the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act, which creates offenses around, how you interact online, how you use these digital devices, and creates offenses so that it's, these offenses can be prosecuted, in a court of law. So really creating that safe space by having these legislative frameworks in place, and that's what the government has done to, protect those who are online. So, once you go online, you provide your data, you should know that it's protected, and there's a law in place to prosecute those who misuse, the computers and digital spaces. When it comes to protecting young people, when it comes to online work, I think I would speak about platforms that are not verified, or people who try and take advantage of online workers by asking for free services, or samples, and then they disappear. So on the Ajira digital platform, we do, our trainers and our mentors will provide more information on that, so that young people are not taken advantage of online. We do also have verified platforms on the Ajira platform. We have links to verified platforms where now online workers can access, the job opportunities, and these are upright, platforms.
Okay, we are about to come to a close of the program, and I'm wondering whether there's something else you'd want to address that I may not have raised.
Perhaps I could touch on online work. When it comes to, when we talk of online jobs, persons might believe that it's for, it's for those in the digital world, or they leave it to those who, are really, into technology or techies, people who have studied ICT. But really, when I speak of the future of work and the changing nature of work, it applies to everybody. It applies to, whichever career path you're in. You could be, you could be a tailor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor. You should be able to, adapt to the changing nature of work. And you'll do this by at least having the basic digital skills, being able to work, with computers, being able to work remotely. So this will require you to have at least the digital basic skills. So I urge all young people out there, it doesn't matter which vocation or career you're in, to at least acquire some basic skills to be able to adapt to the changing nature of work. So with Ajira programs, you can be able to access both digital and digitally enabled jobs. So the digital jobs, which you work fully online, you provide your service online and you're paid online, but there's also the digitally enabled jobs where you can put your service online that, I provide this service, and, someone can access your services, and you can now connect with them on these job platforms. So that's my call to all the young people in the country. Do get onto our platform, ajiradigital.go.ke, register and acquire some of these digital skills. Thank you.
Okay, I think Maureen, I will still ask you to speak just one sentence to the young people. They need to know that you are a young person, and that they too can be where you are. Just send a message to mentor or to give some positive vibes to the young people watching this program.
Okay, well, as a young person to various young people across the country, I am also a youth. I'm actually below the age of 35, sitting as the Chief Administrative Secretary at the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs. Well, as a word of motivation, I would, other than the digital skills that I've urged you to take up, I would also ask you to, search yourself. Don't always look outside to get, assistance. What do you have to provide for the society? Grow on that area and, leave a mark in whichever space that you're in. That's the word I would have.
Okay, so thank you so much, Maureen. That's it from us today on Take on Tech. We were talking to Maureen Mbaka, who is the Chief Administrative Secretary at the Ministry of ICT. And today she has elaborated on the Ajira digital program and how you as a youth, including those in mashinani, can participate in the training, can participate in the uptake of online jobs. Please check out the website, ajiradigital.go.ke, and see how you can benefit. And until next week, please wear a mask, sanitize, and observe social distance. Goodbye, and thank you so much, Maureen.